Live from Altavista High School, it's time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He's the excitable boy, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Oscar, we're having such a ball already. It's the William Campbell Generals in town to take on the Altavista Colonels.
Yeah, it is always exciting. We know these William Campbell players so well. Be it from last year basketball, the year before in basketball, certainly a lot of the football guys play as well. Always a good time to play our close neighbors. Always a good time.
Yep, good time. Always fun to see the neighbors from Naruna. Always good to be back home. Colonels were on that 3-game road trip last week. Oscar and I will discuss that and plenty more. It was a good week for the Altavista Colonels. They did lose their second ball game of the year, but 2 quality wins, one over Chatham on Tuesday and then against Appomattox Friday. The Appo game, Oscar, I know we'll surely discuss more during this Subway pregame show, but before we get to hear from Coach Troy Harris, your impressions of Friday night. I know you got to hear most of it, and certainly you've heard by now about the great defensive performance the Colonels turned in.
Well, you hold a good Appomattox team to 30 points. You've done a good job. And certainly we talked about going into last week that if they could win 2 of the 3, obviously you want to win all of them.
Right.
But if you could win 2 out of the 3 on the road against the caliber competition you were playing, it would be a good week.
Sure.
And it absolutely turned out to be a good week for the Colonels.
Yeah, absolutely. Colonels sit at 9-2. Got to feel pretty good about where they're at. But another challenge here tonight and a tough one. The William Campbell Generals in town here on Bedford Avenue. So glad you've stopped by and joined the Subway pregame show. 3 great locations to serve you. Main Street inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Let's hear from the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Troy Harris, right after this. It's William Campbell. It's Altavista. It's award-winning high school basketball on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Altavista High School back home to the friendly confines on Bedford Avenue, and we're talking once again with the head coach, Troy Harris. And Coach Harris, boy, before we get to this one tonight, we got to talk about a really good performance Friday night against Appomattox. You go into their house, you hold them to 30 points. They scored just 1 field goal in the fourth quarter. It was a dominating defensive performance from you guys. Offensively, you did enough. I mean, you scored 42. It wasn't your A game on offense, but the defense really was the story on Friday.
Yeah, we talk about a lot about our defense. That's what we start with in practice every day. And then we the the moral of our practices now and our season is the first team to 50 usually wins. And when you hold a team to 30, then you're really doing something that gives you a whole lot of leeway. You don't even have to get to 50. You know, 40 is good sometimes. And I remember the feeling after our first game when we lost to Brookville and we only scored 33. If you can put that feeling on somebody else, it's, you know, almost the opposite feeling of that, man. We did a really good job.
Yeah, it really did demoralize them at times. You and I were just discussing a guy that played great in the post defense. That's Josh McClure. He can score, but didn't score a lot Friday. His defense, though, was incredible on Morgan, helping out on some other people, shot blocking, rebounding. McClure was the real deal Friday night.
Yeah, I think he had 10 rebounds, and he only had 1 foul, and he was matched up against their monster in the paint. Morgan, like you said, only had 1 foul and held Morgan without a field goal. I think he was 5 of 6 from the line and only 1 foul on McClure. You can't really ask much more of that out of a post defense where they're, you know, jamming the ball inside and going hard at you. To hold a guy with no field goals and only 1, maybe 2 fouls, that's a really good defensive effort.
Yeah, your guards were the same way, too. They seem to relish and love getting in the other guy's jersey and making it hard on them, that high-pressure, intense defense. Malbec, Mormon, Dews, the whole 9 yards. Your guard play on defense really makes it hard on people.
Yeah, it really does. It's really a total team effort. I know that's the old coach speak. Nobody wants to hear that because it's boring, but you know, we're touting Josh for his defense in the post, but you hold a team to 30, everybody's got to pitch in on that. With Nelson, Mateo, Chancellor, we were locking down their guards for the most part, definitely in the second half and in the first half as well.
Well, let's transition to tonight. The William Campbell Generals in town, a team that you mentioned to me, athletic and kind of presents some bad matchups for you guys. Explain that a little bit more, what you mean.
Yeah, I like to say they're wild. They just get the ball and they go, and they're unpredictable in what they're going to do. I like to know if I can know what the other team's going to do, it's easy to prepare my guys to know what's going on. But we've seen them play a few times, and it's something different almost every time. They get the ball and they go, and it's no telling who they're going to pass it to or when they're going to shoot it. So they're definitely unpredictable, very athletic, got a couple big guys in the paint, and really good guard play. They can shoot it from deep, and they can get in the lane and cause foul problems for us. So the unpredictableness of them really, I don't think this word scare really goes there, but it sort of worries me a little bit that they're so unpredictable you can't really figure out what they're going to do.
You think you'll want your guys to slow it down and be a little bit more deliberate on offense when you have a chance, or is that just a fly by the seat of your pants kind of decision?
Yeah, I think you're on to something there. The last time we played a team that was very unpredictable was Chatham, and we eked out a 1-point win. So we've been talking about that the past couple days of how to play our tempo. If you see a chance to run, do it. But if you don't have it, bring it back out and take care of the ball, because we made some bonehead mistakes against Chatham, and we really need to cut those out and sort of play our game tonight and not feed into what William Campbell wants to do.
Well, you bring up Chatham, and that will lead me to my last question. It was a 3-game week, the 1-point win against Chatham, the loss to Rustburg, and then the win against Appomattox Friday. Did you give the guys a little bit of a breather Saturday because of the stressful week, or were you on them just like normal?
Well, we were still in practice. It may not have been, 100%, crack the whip type practice, but we were in there for an hour. We got some shots up, shot some free throws, and talked a lot about what William Campbell does, because we only had yesterday to practice for him too. So I don't think we were in there sprinting and, in everybody's shirt getting after them, but we got a lot of good work done without having to run and break a huge sweat.
Excellent stuff. Coach, we'll let you run. The Generals, the Colonels tip off in about 20 on 105.5 KD Country.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Back to Altavista High School here and the Subway pregame show. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. We're getting ready for the tip-off between the Altavista Colonels and the William Campbell Generals. The Generals, pardon me. So excited I can't even get the words out, Mr. Briggs. The old Campbell County rivalry. Let's talk about the Colonels' very good performance against Appomattox Friday, and we'll dabble into the last week in general some too. Colonels get a 42-30 win. It was a one-point game at halftime. Low-scoring affair. I think Coach Troy Harris was happy with the scoring pace. You heard him mention in the interview about that 50-point mark, the old mark that our mark, Doc Slusher, used to talk about on the radio a lot. Usually the team that gets to 50 wins. Sometimes it's the team that gets to 50 first, but usually if you get to 50 in high school basketball, you're going to win. And Coach Harris said, well, guess what, guys? If you hold the other team to 30, we don't need to get to 50, and that's what happened Friday night against the Raiders.
Yeah, certainly, again, at the tail end of that three-game swing on the road, it's usually a very good AA Appomattox team, and, you know, they haven't been on the hardwood that long. After winning the state championship, going undefeated in football, don't quite have their basketball legs under them, but hey, they're young kids, and they're in good shape, but, you know, the shots affected. But the Colonels did a good job defensively in keeping them to 30 points, and that was the difference going down the stretch.
Yeah, and I don't think, you know, Appomattox was necessarily apologizing for getting into the gym late because of football. They know the hand they're dealt. Certainly Colonels fans have played that hand, and the Colonels teams have played that hand. They've had some late starts because of football here lately. And honestly, you know, this Altavista team this year got onto the hardwood just a little bit late because the Colonels went 2 rounds into the VHSL football playoffs. But clearly, this Altavista team starting to hit its stride. The game before that against Rustburg, up at Rustburg, Oscar, you and I were on the call for that one. That's a tough Red Devil squad, isn't it? They're 12-1. Colonels are the only team that has beaten Rustburg so far this year.
Well, and the Colonels, you know, stayed with them for 3 quarters. The third quarter, where they got outscored 17-3, just couldn't dig themselves out of the hole. Played extremely well during the fourth quarter and made a game of it, but just couldn't get over the edge.
Yeah, and I think Coach Harris and his guys would love to have that third quarter back. Obviously, that's not reality. Every quarter counts, and certainly the Colonels are going to remember that one and keep it in their back pocket and hopefully have a better performance in the third quarter. Third quarter really all year, or at least in 2015, the 2015 part of the season had been dominated by the Colonels. So we'll see what happens in the third quarter tonight. Obviously, we'll see what happens in the first quarter, though, first. This is the Subway pregame show. We're having a ball, and you can always have a ball at Subway with the fantastic customer service. I think they're probably tuned in right now. Big shout-out to the gang there at Subway doing a great job. There was a bit of a crowd when myself and sound engineer Eleanor Haney were in there. They whittled that line right down, and they made it go very smoothly. Turkey Tuesday for me, Oscar. Where'd you go?
I went in at around 4:30. Same thing, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a crowd. They knocked the line down, but I went with the there's some places you go. I went to lunch today and didn't get quite filled up. Don't have that problem when you go to Subway. I went with the double Flateza meal today.
Oh, yes. Normally I encourage Flateza Friday, but it's always good to mix it up. Keep the body guessing, I say. One of my main mottos. I think you agree with that.
Among others.
I have a bunch of mottos. I don't know if I live by any of them, but we'll see what I do Friday. Maybe I won't go with the flat teases. Go with whatever you want at Subway. As our colleague Bob Alva says, the only wrong choice is not walking in the door. You've made the right choice if you're a high school basketball fan. Got a good one here for you. It's the Generals. It's the Colonels. Tip-off less than 10 minutes away. You've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motor Sales. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out to get less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Bet Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
I'm Jeff Walker of First National Bank and the manager at our Main Street branch in Altavista. Did you know that local bankers have a lot more at stake in taking better care of you? You see, helping local customers like you be more successful is our only focus, and each customer is so important. So for your small business, construction, and personal loan needs, think of me and think of us first. That's local First National Bank. We'll help you bring home more bacon. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. House salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The gymnasium on Bedford Avenue rocking here at Altavista High School. The pep band is in the house. The cheerleaders are here. There's a good fan base here, and it continues to grow. Maybe 50% full right now, Mr. Briggs. It's certainly not the biggest crowd we've seen, but there's a nice energy in the gym. You can tell. I think the guys on the floor are starting to feel it. It's always nice when you see those former Colonels sitting in the front row there, isn't it? Guys like Juan Thornhill and Michi Malback, Chandler Pribble down there. Both Mike and Eric Poindexter in the crowd. We've discussed that many times.
Destin Brown here as well.
Destin Brown, yeah, he's an imposing force down there. We've discussed that. You know, these Colonel fans and players, when they leave and become alumni, they come back a lot, and they become fans for life. They really support the guys that are here now. It's pretty neat to see, and definitely encourage you to come out and support the Colonels or whoever your team is, or just go out and see some basketball. There's a lot of good teams in the area. A couple great games last night. The Rustburg Red Devils win a wild 1-1 over Amherst. EC Glass got a tip in at the buzzer to beat Heritage. I like where high school basketball in the Lynchburg area is at right now, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, and you know, you throw Brookville into the mix, and certainly Heritage and Liberty, and yeah, it's in a good spot right now.
We haven't even gotten to see our fine friends from Ringgold, the Dan River Wildcats, just yet. I'm interested to see how that's going to be.
Well, we know what we're going to get there. You're going to get athletic.
Yep.
You're going to get strength, and you're going to get good basketball.
Yeah, well coached by Kenny Murphy down there at Dan River. I believe that's 1 week from today in Ringgold. But, hey, let's focus on tonight. The William Campbell Generals, coached by Brandon Barksdale. He's another young coach like Troy Harris. I believe Coach Barksdale in his 3rd year as the head coach at William Campbell. He's been doing a nice job. Obviously, we could talk about last year's games, Oscar, between the Colonels and the Generals, but I'm not sure that's such an accurate reflection of how good William Campbell was, just because of the fact that Altavista had one of those once-in-a-lifetime type crews last year with the 5 seniors and the supporting cast.
And the 3 back-to-back state championships.
Right.
Of course, we talk about the group of alumni that are back. You know, Josh McClure, Nelson Dews, and Mateo Malback all certainly played a part of that state championship last year.
Sure did. Sure did. Brought a lot of memories and a lot of things that we won't forget. Let's talk about the people, our starting lineup here, the folks we could not do it without, year in, year out, game by game. These guys are the best, and we hope you'll go visit them and tell them how glad you are that they support high school basketball. And as Bob says, and we always say, better yet, just buy something from them. They'll like that just as much. We'd like to thank English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29 just south of the airport. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. The Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Be a Moose today. KCD Maintenance, Ken can do it maintenance, call 665-1333. El Cazador on Main Street in Altavista, be sure to try their new menu. Highview Motors, from small to tall, Highview has it all. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. And now it's time for the national anthem, so we'll step aside. I'll finish our starting lineup in a moment, then we'll bring it back with the team's starting lineup, the light show, and it'll be jump ball before you know it. From Altavista High School, between the Generals and the Colonels, it's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One-stop mart where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food. Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Back at Altavista High School, I'm Kyle Haney. Oscar Briggs going to help out a little bit with the light show. I should also point out here as we close up the Subway pregame show, our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, went with Turkey Tuesday as well, Oscar, and no coffee today, even though coffee is for closers only. Our game is also brought to you by the generous support of the First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. They sponsor our YouTube rebroadcast. You can hear the Colonels on demand whenever you want. Go to kdcountry.com, click the YouTube link, some other good stuff on there as well on the music side of things. Streaming online audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your Allstate agent in Windhurst. Hoops fans are always in good hands with Chad Rakos. I saw my good buddy Chad at the bowling alley this weekend, Oscar. We got to talk a little bit of Colonels basketball. We got to talk about the good old days. Chad Rakos, I'll have you know, a very, very good high school baseball player at Liberty High School in Bedford. They had some good teams back then when Chad was playing, so he certainly knows a thing or two about success in athletic endeavors like these Colonels do. Mr. Briggs, the light show never ceases to amaze, does it? It's always like the first time.
Yeah, it really is, and it's worth the price of admission. If you haven't seen it, get down. You get to see some great high school basketball, but hey, the light show's worth it anyway.
Absolutely. Colonels are going to go with number 3, Mateo Malback. Number 4, Daquan Poindexter. The Dragon, number 15, Lawrence Galliard. Number 2, a senior, Nelson Dews. And number 30, Josh McClure. You heard Coach Harris and I, discussing about the defensive presence that Josh McClure had on Friday night against Appomattox. Josh probably didn't score as much as he would normally like, but man, he played some lockdown defense there in the paint and some other areas as well. Double-digit rebounds. Josh McClure putting together a great junior season.
I think if you were to ask Coach Harris, Coach, before the season started, hey, going into the second week of January, you're 9-2. Oh yeah, he'll take it.
Sure, absolutely. Generals are going to go with number 2, McKenna Neighbors. Number 4, Josh Rosser. Number 23, Khalil Boyd. Boyd is the leading scorer, by the way, and you'll hear his name a bunch. Number 34, Edmund Daniel. And number 15, Tyrell Staten round out the starting lineup for the William Campbell Generals on the road. They're in sort of a carbon gray kind of a road jersey. It's a pretty neat look. There's a little bit of blue in there, the normal William Campbell blue, and some white as well. But it's an interesting look. More and more teams are going with that dark gray look. Heck, some teams are even wearing it at home. Colonels are in the home white jerseys. Black number outlined in orange. Orange Colonel written over the number. A mixed match of shoes and socks. The lights cycle back through. It does take a few moments for them to all cut back on again, and the officials are at jump circle, ready to throw it up. It's Galliard and Josh Rosser. Colonels will be going left to right from our perspective in this first quarter of basketball. Galliard misses it on the first try, then just slams it to the deck. It bounces in the hands of Nelson Dews at midcourt, and we're underway. First quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center, and your home for Atrium Vinyl Windows. Oscar, those vinyl windows would be great on a night like tonight to keep that wind and that cold out.
Well, you're going to watch this.
Look out! Oh, my goodness. Mateo Malback threw the lob to Lawrence Galliard. Galliard stuck behind the defense on the baseline and dunked it home on the alley-oop just like that. Talk about getting underway. That's an exclamation point to start things out. McClure has a loose ball. Colonel's going the other way up the far sideline. 3-on-1. Malback leaves it off to Galliard. Galliard's bopped in the head from behind, and he'll go to the free throw line. I think everybody, including these two trained broadcasters, trying to catch their breath after the thunder to open things up on the alley-oop jam by Lawrence Galliard.
Boy, that was a called play, too. They went through the cycle, set that up. The only person in the gym higher than Galliard on that play was Juan Thornhill, who was exuberant. Him and Michi are over there talking about it now.
Yeah, they're saying, remember when we used to do that all the time last year? These young guys can do it, too. Galliard missed the first free throw. Kansas second one. 3-0 advantage for the Colonels, all three at the hands of the Dragon, Lawrence Galliard, number 15, rising high and dunking it. And what a pass right on target by Mateo Malback, too.
He got his, he came down on his back, too. But,
yep.
Resilient as a sophomore.
It looks like he's moving a little bit slower, though. He may have just fouled Tyrell Staten. Staten was weaving his way through the defense from the right baseline and got smacked. And no, they're going to change a call and say that he traveled. Malback sort of pled his case to the officials, and I think the official talked it over and said, yeah, he really did travel before the foul. So good job by Mateo Malback to point it out. We are just 1 minute into this basketball game. Altavista leading 3-0 over William Campbell.
And seasoned crew here officiating, too, so you don't have to worry about that.
No, not at all. Pardon us for all the yelling there, but I'll tell you what, you don't normally see that kind of excitement, especially on the first play of the game. Daquan Poindexter dribbling between the circles. Chest pass to the right wing to Malback. Malback will throw it in the right corner to Nelson Dews. Dews inside to McClure in the right-hand post, and that won't go down. McClure is fouled, hitting the body and the arm as he went up to the shot. He'll toe the free throw line and shoot a pair.
I think the exciting thing is that for 3 years we saw the slams game after game after game, and this is a little bit different Colonel team, but certainly Galliard's beginning to get stronger and stronger, and it's exciting to see, always exciting to see the dunk.
Absolutely. You just don't see the dunk that often in high school. You see the alley-oop dunk even less than that. And you see it from a sophomore even less than that. So it's you add all those things up, it's a rare play, and that's the cause for excitement from us. McClure sinks both. It's a 5-0 Colonel advantage. 6:35 left to play in the first.
And let's not underplay the pass either. It was perfect.
Absolutely. Had to be, too. Campbell in trouble momentarily. McClure got his hands on a pass. Now it's Khalil Boyd. Boyd left-hand dribble, switches to the right, tries to go between the legs. Malbeck tried to go between the legs to snatch it away from Boyd.
And Bound got it.
He really did. It was a crafty type of play. Give Boyd credit for hanging on. Basketball poked out of bounds along the baseline, and William Campbell will inbound as it was last touch off of Nelson Dews. Brandon Barksdale is the head coach for the Generals. He's on his feet, full suit and tie. Troy Harris shifting from the chair to his feet in the Altavista Colonels gray polo. Color almost the same as William Campbell's jerseys,
Not
actually.
in a suit and tie.
Don't think you're going to see that much from Coach Harris.
No, they did call a foul on Nelson Dews on that play call.
6:12 left to play in the first. Boyd driving, got hit in the shoulder, and managed to throw it off the window and down. 5-2, it gives William Campbell their first points of the basketball game.
You talk about a strong basketball team. You got Khalil Boyd and Terrell Staten on the court. Those two kids are strong.
Absolutely. A lot of firepower in there, strength, hours in the weight room. Colonel's shot wouldn't fall down. It was rebounded by Staten just outside the paint. Now it's up ahead to Boyd in the front court. This is Traquan Williams in the ball game for the Generals. Shake and bake move, now throws it left wing to Tyrell Staten. Staten overhead pass to Boyd on the right side. Guarded again by Mateo Malbeck. Tough assignment there. Boyd got by, up and under layup will fall. Kissed it off the glass and down 5-4. William Campbell only trails by 1 now.
And that was after a filthy crossover as well.
Yep, Nelson teeing up the 3 ball. It won't go down. Rebound up ahead quickly. This is Josh Rosser. Colonel's defense got back in a hurry to fortify the defense. And now William Campbell's going to reset after the fast break wouldn't work. Daquan Poindexter poked into the backcourt. Staten will go back there and retrieve it. Long pass nearly intercepted, but it finds Boyd on the far sideline. Boyd got by Malbeck again. Jump shot, too strong. Tried to use the bank from 14 feet, which is tough to do.
Rattled out. It was a nice shot.
4:50 left to play in the first. Zone defense from William Campbell tightening up. They've got a turnover. Galliard just never could collect a Daquan Poindexter pass. Boyd had to alert teammate Edmund Daniel that the pass was on the way, and Daniel luckily reacted in time. Over to Daniel again, far corner, back to Boyd. Boyd's going to try a 3. Too short off the front of the iron. Long rebound out of bounds. Galliard saved it in the front row. Colonel's going the other way. Malbeck, hesitation. Now to the hoop from the left side. It's swatted away, and he is fouled.
They're going to call that on Khalil Boyd. Nice job, Mateo, keeping himself under control, anticipating the contact, really creating the contact. He'll go to the line, shoot 2. Colonel's up 5-4. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Malbeck, a steady hand at the free throw line. Nelson Dews has made the most free throws. He does not have the highest percentage, though. Chancellor Mormon is shooting 100% from the line, Oscar, but he's only had 2 attempts. I don't see Chancellor's mom in the crowd, so I assume she is listening at the Lady Colonels game in Naruna right now. Lady Colonels have won 2 in a row. They look to make it a 3-game winning streak against William Campbell. Malbeck, second one on the way, nothing but nylon. 6-4, 7-4, pardon me. Mateo makes both, and speaking of Chancellor Mormon, he enters the game for Mateo Malbeck on the court right now for the Colonels. Mormon, Galliard, Dews, McClure, and Cameron Hughes, who is also newly entered into the contest. Khalil Boyd's just going to gingerly walk it into the front court. A screen on each side. He half-heartedly uses the one on the right. Now behind the back dribble. He's guarded by Mormon, gets stopped at the right elbow, sends it over to Traquan Williams.
Those of you new to Colonel's basketball, Mormon is the stopper. However,
when Khalil Boyd is feeling it from the right wing, NBA range 3, not a whole lot you can do. Mormon had a hand in the face. Boyd knocked it down. We're tied at 7. Told you this was going to be a good one. Zone defense from William Campbell. Looks like it might be a 3-2 or a 2-3. What do you think? 1-2-2?
1-2-2 is what it looks like to me.
I'm just going to keep throwing out numbers.
That's
Eventually I'll get them. It's like the Powerball. If you play enough, somebody's got to get it right. Boyd off balance, leaning in. Unorthodox layup attempt. Doesn't matter. He is fouled. The shot never really got out of his hand, but there was 3 Colonels around him and out of position. Good job by Boyd to sense the discomfort of the defense and take it up strong.
And that's a second on Nelson Dews. Not good for the Colonels.
Not at all. Nelly's going to check out for a breather. Into the ball game comes number 24, Jacob Adams. Tiberius Ewell has entered the ball game for William Campbell. He joins Traquan Williams, Khalil Boyd, Edmund Daniel and Tyrell Staten. Boyd made the first, missed the second. Galliard grabs the rebound underneath the hoop. William Campbell leading 8-7. First lead of the ball game for the Generals.
Khalil Boyd leading 8-7. He's the only one that scored for William Campbell.
Excellent point. 3:25 left to play in the first quarter.
It is a 1-2-2, Kyle.
Okay. Good job diagnosing it by you. I wasn't much help. Well, I guess that was a little bit of help. I'd named some things. You could go process of elimination, right? Adams dribbling along the right sideline. He'll back it out. Now it looks like the Colonels want to run a set play. Watch out for Galliard. He's at the free throw line now. He'll pop out to the top of the key. Swings it over. Cameron Hughes. Catch and shoot three is good. Well-designed play there by Troy Harris. They set it up nicely. Cameron Hughes knocking down the three from the left wing. Traquan Williams will try one. That's too strong. Rebound collected by Edmund Daniel on the right edge of the paint. Throws it wildly to the hoop. He'll try another one. He'll try a third one up and in. Oh, my goodness, the stick-to-itiveness from Edmund Daniel. None of those shots was pretty, but it didn't matter. He kept getting his own rebound and kept pushing it back towards the rim.
Well, the initial rebound that he got offensively, he shoved off to get it, but it wasn't called, and the Colonels had several opportunities. Nobody put a body on him. He just kept throwing it up playing volleyball with himself.
First foul on Josh McClure. Third one on the Colonels as a team. Free throw missed badly, but Tyrell Staten's got an offensive rebound. That's blocked off the back wall by Galliard. I have a feeling Coach Harris is standing up to let his team know he's not particularly pleased with the way they're boxing out, or a lack of boxing out. 10-10, we're tied. Second tie of the game, unless you count the 0-0 tie that we started with. William Campbell had to work to get it in bounds. High-pressure defense from the Colonels. It's been man-to-man all game. This is Tiberius Ewell. He'll back it out towards the midcourt stripe, halfway between there and the three-point line. Going to dribble, try and drive by Adams. Adams cut him off nicely. Ewell in trouble. Threw it to Khalil Boyd. Boyd now, stutter step, driving, kiss off the glass, and it'll fall. It rattled around. Khalil Boyd is something. 12-10. Generals lead by 2.
Boy, he's extremely quick and he's strong. He can absorb that contact and still get the shot off.
Khalil Boyd playing well here in the early going for the Generals. Hughes and Mormon, just a little pitch and catch. They're going to decide who wants to run the point guard spot. Looks like Coach Harris is going to set up a play again. Left wing over to Hughes. Hughes thinking about driving, cut off. One-hand bounce pass to McClure. McClure wants to drive now. Oh, nice. Maybe tried the extra pass there to Galliard, and it got poked away. Galliard in a hurry to get back and recover. He swats it out of bounds. It's a dead ball here with 1:44 left to play in the first. 12-10, Generals leading.
Nice hustle by Galliard. If it weren't for Galliard hustle back, Boyd would have 2 more.
Galliard does a little bit of everything, doesn't he?
Really
he scores, he dunks, he plays defense, he blocks shots. There's a nice defensive play there by Josh McClure to poke it in the front row. Out of bounds off of him, but it forces William Campbell to reset and throw it back in again. 1:43 left to play in the first. It's a 2-point General lead. If you thought these William Campbell Generals were pushovers, think again. Traquan Williams tried to save it from backcourt, and he ended up throwing it in the hands of Josh McClure. Hughes, head fake. Now he wants to try the 16-footer. That won't fall. There's Traquan Williams on the rebound far sideline. He'll angle back to the middle of the court and just flip it over to Khalil Boyd. Boyd wants to walk it across the timeline. 1:24 left to play in the first. Boyd, left-hand dribble, streaking to the hoop. Another wild shot attempt, and he is fouled again. Khalil Boyd is going to head back to the charity stripe with 1:20 left to play in the first.
He's doing a good job initiating the contact. That one's going to be on Jake Adams. That's his first.
Yeah, eventually somebody has to step in front of him and try and take a charge and slow him down, at least make Boyd drop it into third and fourth gear and not go fifth gear towards the basket all the time. Sometimes he tends to just put his head down and throw up a wild shot. But it's been effective so far.
Well, that's right.
Can't knock it until you stop it anyway, right?
Best defense now, maybe put him at the free throw line. He's 1 of 4.
Missed both of those attempts there.
He won't keep that up, though.
I tend to agree with you. Too good of a shooter to miss that many. 12-10. Generals lead by 2. Daquan Poindexter back in the game. Colonels working left to right from our perspective, scoring on the right-hand bucket. Jamal Thornhill in the game now as well. Mormon along the baseline. Oh, kick out 3 for Mormon. No good. Went out of bounds. It never hit anything. And the air ball chant comes up from the William Campbell fans that have made the drive. Did you hear about in Wisconsin? They banned people from chanting air ball now. Said it's unsportsmanlike. Oh, that's a little bit too watered down and homogenized, if you ask me.
Little PC for me.
Yeah. 44 seconds left to play in the first. Colonels on defense. This is number 12, Tiberius Ewell. Throws it to the free throw line, and Nick Witcher's in the game. Witcher to Williams, back to Ewell. Ewell with an NBA range three.
Nice
Nearly
box
got
out by two Colonels, Daquan Poindexter and Josh McClure.
McClure grabbed the rebound. He'll bring it up the far sideline himself. Long pass to Cameron Hughes. Hughes stuck under the hoop. Nice hesitation move to get the general defender in the air, and then he's fouled. Let's see who it was that they wiped himself off. That is number 3, Traquan Williams, on the foul.
Cameron's starting to gain a little bit of confidence and look a little bit more comfortable on the floor. Earlier in the year, he looked a little bit out of place, uncertain, was hesitant, and that never helps your game. But he's starting to gain some confidence and looking a whole lot better.
Cameron Hughes is a junior, misses the first free throw there. Sports the long white sleeves, the 3/4 length leggings that come down to the mid-calf. Makes the second one. That turns it into a 12-11 William Campbell advantage. 21.8 seconds left to play in the quarter. We'll see if the Generals want to hold for one. I'm not sure it's in their nature to hold for one, though, but we'll see. Traquan Williams behind the back dribble. He's cut off. Somehow finds Khalil Boyd near midcourt. Boyd crossover dribble, taking his time, trying to set up Chancellor Moorman. Down to 6 seconds. Moorman got a hand on it. Moorman's going to dive after the loose ball. He's got it. Hands it off to Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill, the runner three at the buzzer, would have counted, but it did not go in, hit the side of the iron. What a good first quarter of basketball. William Campbell leads by 1, 12-11. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Loving what's going on here at Altavista High School. Colonels do trail by 1, though, 12-11. We saw a lot of things in that first quarter, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, 4 Colonels scored during that quarter. Only 2 William Campbell players scored, but Khalil Boyd with a big 10 points in the first quarter. It could be a big night for him as you move forward.
It doesn't always look textbook, the things that Boyd does I'm referring to. But, gosh, he finds a way to get the job done. And then just when you think he's quieted down for a little bit, he steps back and hits that NBA range 3 with a hand in the face. So not a whole lot of answers for Khalil Boyd in that first quarter.
Certainly one of the big points in the first quarter was Nelson Dews picking up the second foul.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on the foul situation for Nelly and for the team. 4 team fouls on the Altavista Colonels, 4 on William Campbell. There's a foul as Daquan Poindexter is trying to go the other way and get into the transition offense.
It's going to be on Nick Witcher. That's his first.
On the court right now for the Generals, it is Nick Witcher, Tiberius Ewell, Traquan Williams, Tyrell Staten, and Khalil Boyd. Colonels on offense. Malback, floater from the paint. That'll go down. Crafty little shot there from Mateo Malback. Sort of took off from the free throw line at 15 feet, but ended up releasing it around 13 feet away, and it goes in.
He might have learned that from his brother.
Might have.
Looked vaguely familiar.
1 point lead for Altavista again. Oh, there's Daquan Poindexter with a rejection. Colonels going the other way. 3-on-2. Lead pass up ahead for Poindexter. He has it swatted away. How about the Generals returning the favor? That was Tiberius Ewell. Staten with a little no-look shovel pass up ahead to Traquan Williams off the window and in.
Boy, what a no-look pass that was.
Back and forth basketball now, 14-13. Generals have the lead back. Flashy stuff in transition there from the amazing gridiron star, Tyrell Staten. Mateo Malback with a casual pass, had it picked off. Here's Ewell in transition the other way. He's fouled, and he's going to go to the bucket to shoot 2. This is number 12, Tiberius Ewell, who batted the pass away and then really just ran the fast break himself. Got Malback up in the air. Colonels have 5 team fouls.
Colonels a little complacent on the offensive end, a little lackadaisical.
Ewell can't ring in the first one. That was the first foul on Mateo Malback. Nelson Dews going to check back in the game. On the court right now for the Colonels, it's Dews, Malback, Poindexter, Galliard, and McClure. General scoring on the left-hand bucket here from us. The Altavista High School There'll be a substitute now as Josh Rosser will re-enter the game for Tiberius Ewell. Ewell made the back end of the free throws. It's a 15-13 advantage for the William Campbell Generals, the road team here tonight. It's a nice, cool Tuesday evening with a lot of wind out there, making it feel a lot colder than it is, but it's going to get cold tonight and then supposed to be cold tomorrow. Nice again Thursday and Friday. It's always nice in the gym here. Nelson Dews wants to try a three. Front of the iron, no good. High rebound collected by the William Campbell Generals, and they're going the other way. That's Khalil Boyd. Boyd stopped momentarily, then got in a hurry, ran right into the chest of Daquan Poindexter. Poindexter tied him up for a jump ball, mutual possession, and the possession arrow favoring the Colonels at this moment.
Nice job defensively by the Colonels, creating that turnover.
That was a time there, like I said earlier, that somebody had to step in front of Khalil Boyd, and it was Daquan Poindexter doing just that. Didn't draw the charge, but he tied him up in the process.
It takes a village to raise a kid. It's going to take a team to stop Khalil Boyd tonight.
Excellent point. Team concept for sure. Malback, three-pointer from dead on is good. Mateo Malback has given the lead back to the Altavista Colonels. 16-15. Altavista by 1.
Just under 6. That's his fifth here remaining in the second quarter. That's his 5th point in the quarter.
That's 5 lead changes early in this ball game. Look at Rosser trying to circle the defense to his left. Went down the left side of the paint, and he is fouled.
That's 2 fouls on Mateo Malback, starting backcourt for the Colonels with 5:47 remaining here in the second quarter. Starting to get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Malback couldn't believe it, but I think the referee had the right call. Malback might have been clean upstairs, but I think he got him with the body. This is Josh Rosser on the free throw line. First one won't fall down. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're listening around town on 105.5, the Altavista Lynchburg area, or perhaps you're listening around the world at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, we're so grateful to have you. Both free throws missed there by Josh Rosser. McClure just tapped the rebound along the baseline to Lawrence Galliard.
Nice job by Galliard picking that ball up after the tip.
Nelly going to run the baseline. Odd angle. Shot won't fall. Galliard there for the putback in 2. Nice job by Lawrence Galliard. Right place, right time. Colonels extend the lead back to 3. Feels like it's been ages since they were up this much. 18-15, they're on top. Boyd in trouble. Crossover dribble now, middle of the court. Head of steam, changes directions to his left. Another wild shot. Offensive foul. That's Lawrence Galliard. I'm telling you, the guy just does a little bit of everything.
He's got a great instinct for where the ball is, for what's going on. Way beyond his years and experience. He's going to be a very, very, very good ball player. Already is a good ball player, but as he continues to mature, gets a little bit more strength physically, he's going to be something else.
Lawrence Galliard getting the feet planted and taking the contact from the charging Khalil Boyd. 16 fouls on the Generals. Nelson Dews tried to just weave his way through the teeth of the William Campbell defense and lost the basketball in the process, but it was off the Generals. Colonels will inbound underneath their own scoring bucket with 5:03 left to play in the half. They lead by 3. In the home whites, Daquan Poindexter will toss it towards midcourt to Nelson Dews. Oh, sends it in the corner to Jacob Adams. Adams thought about a 3, decides against it, and it's back to Nelson Dews at the top of the key. This looks like a more conventional 2-3 zone now from William Campbell. And the Colonels taking some time to diagnose it, since I do believe it is a new defensive adjustment.
Yes, it is. A nice job by the Colonels being patient and figuring out what defense they're in. It is a 2-3.
They've seen plenty of 2-3 this year. Daquan Poindexter wants to try a 3. No zone can stop that. Daquan Poindexter cashing in from the right wing. Colonels up big now, 21-15. Biggest lead of the night so far anyway at 6 points.
On that 2-3 zone, the weaknesses are at the top and out on the wings, and they're able to rotate the ball through and find those weak spots. Nice job of rotation by the Colonels on that offensive possession.
Traquan Williams tried the contested 3. Poindexter splitting the defense for 2, and that will prompt a timeout from head coach Brandon Barksdale. Colonels surging. They lead 23-15. 4:10 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
More live live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
A big-time Colonel run prompts the timeout from Brandon Barksdale and the William Campbell Generals. Interestingly enough, Edmund Daniel wanted to inbound the basketball, but he had to wait till two small children ran by him here. Two little fans in the gym tonight.
There was no running. They knew where they were going. What a defensive play by Nelson Dews.
Nelson Dews just in full stride as Traquan Williams and he were both running to the basket almost simultaneously. He reached his hands out, hugged the basketball. They called the jump ball.
That's a heady play, especially when you got two fouls.
It really is. Got to be careful. Generals have the possession arrow. They'll inbound underneath their own basket. Couple screens. Look like they were trying to free up Rosser. They do get it to him. His shot won't go. Then there's a foul on the rebound attempt. McClure with good position on the box out. Looked like they got Edmund Daniel with on the back, over the back against Josh McClure. That's 17 fouls on the Generals, so McClure is going to shoot a 1-and-1.
Boy, they did a great job of executing that inbounds play. Just didn't finish it. He was open with a little bunny and just couldn't knock it down.
It ran Rosser through a couple screens there. It was well designed for sure. McClure, nice deep knee bend, good rhythm. First free throw up, won't fall down. Rebounded by Daniel. Pardon me, that's Khalil Boyd. And the Generals are on the attack into the front court. Boyd's going to get it 2 feet away from the three-point line, just taking his time. He'll direct some traffic. He's guarded by Daquan Poindexter. Tried to get by him and does. Starts to his right, then goes to his left. Up and under layup will fall. Khalil Boyd. It's interesting, Oscar. We've seen faster guards, but somehow he manages to find angles and hit you from places that you're just not expecting. He throws those wild layups up there, and more often than not, they're on target. This one goes in for two.
Well, a lot of it's his strength. He's making that contact. He's got strong upper body. He does have strong legs, and he just finishes.
Free throw won't go down. McClure, again, just sort of tapped it back to Daquan Poindexter. McClure got to be careful with a loose elbow there. Lob pass down low. That's number 24, Jamal Thornhill, depositing the bucket. Got behind the defense nicely. William Campbell lost him for a moment. It's a 25-17 Altavista lead.
Great heads-up pass from Daquan Poindexter, too, Kyle.
Good vision from Poindexter to see him for sure. Thornhill guarding Williams. Williams will stride in. That shot won't go. Rebound is loose. Look at the guys battling after. That's Jamal Thornhill, who will come away with it, although it will be a jump ball tie-up again. But the possession arrow favoring the Colonels. Adams will come out, and Cameron Hughes will re-enter the ball game for Altavista. He joins Thornhill, Mormon, McClure, and Poindexter.
Getting some nice minutes off the bench from those guards to keep Malbec and Dews out of foul trouble.
Nice job on the rotation and the minutes by Coach Harris. Free throw line to McClure. Dumps it off to Mormon. Mormon had it swatted out of his hands. He'll save it back into Hughes. Oh, McClure will try a three. Too strong. There's Jamal Thornhill. He was in the right place, but just couldn't capture the rebound. Quickly up ahead. Tiberius Ewell blocked away by Thornhill. Thornhill came from nowhere to swat it off the backboard. It ended up in the hands of Josh McClure, who was unfortunately for the Colonels standing out of bounds at the time. Wow. Wild sequence there. Altavista on top 25-17.
It's so much fun watching these past players that have been here, too.
The way they get into it. Boyd, another wild shot. That one won't draw iron. McClure grabs the rebound and gets himself some space. 2:39 left to play in the half. 25-17, Altavista on top. Scoring on the right-hand bucket there in the front court. Cameron Hughes on the far sideline with it. Now it's over to the right point and Daquan Poindexter. They shoot it left wing to Cameron Hughes. Hughes tried the three, wouldn't go. Foul as Jamal Thornhill working to get the basketball back. Just a little too strong. Should send a General to the free throw line. It's either Boyd or Staten.
So it should be Staten.
The backcourt buddies were also the backfield buddies. I mean, we talked a lot about Tyrell Staten this year, and with good reason. I mean, the numbers were incredible.
They were sick.
But Khalil Boyd had some good numbers, too. They're going to send Staten to the free throw line. They were both in the area. This is Tyrell Staten, who had the unbelievable performance in the playoffs. What did he score, 5 times in the fourth quarter alone?
Yes.
I think he had 8 touchdowns total, over 500 yards, something in the neighborhood of 23 or 24 tackles. But unfortunately, in the present moment, he can't knock down the free throw. And there's a foul on the other side by Edmund Daniel that will send number 4 Daquan Poindexter to the charity stripe.
Shooting 1-and-1. Both teams with 18 fouls. 2:16 remaining here in the second quarter.
First free throw will skip off the front of the iron, then hit the backboard and fall down. Fans, we want to give some shout-outs here. I got a few lined up, but contact us for some more. KD Country Facebook page is the best place to do it. Make sure you like KD Country on Facebook. A lot of things going on there, and our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, will alert us to the fact that you are listening. Just got an update from Dave Mabry. Lady Colonels lead 36-21 at the half in Naruna. We'll keep an eye on that. This is Tiberius Ewell. Started his drive around the three-point line, tried to go down the left side of the paint, was tied up. Another jump ball called. No, this is a foul, pardon me.
Foul on Chancellor Mormon, and that's his second. So this Colonel's backcourt starting to get a little bit deeper in foul trouble here.
Tiberius Ewell will toe the free throw line with 2:03 left to play in the second quarter. Second quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center, and your headquarters for Carhartt gear for men. Or women, as Oscar sometimes inserts in there. You haven't said that as much lately as I claim that you say it.
No,
actually.
I do say it.
Okay.
And, you know, as cold as it is, there's no better time to get into some Carhartt stuff.
Talk about breaking the wind. Staten just muscled his way through the defense. Might have taken an extra step. Basketball spending some time on the floor. This is Nick Witcher who'll shove it towards the rim. William Campbell had some chances at it. None of them were very good looks. And the Colonels come out of there without surrendering any points somehow. No, nice skip pass down low to Cameron Hughes. Nelson Dews with a good feed to find number one, Cameron Hughes, for the bucket. Colonels lead 29-18. Lead up to 11 all of a sudden. Getting a little bit physical out there, particularly on some of these battles down low. Boyd with too many steps, and he walks. Pardon me, that's Tiberius Ewell on the turnover.
That was Tiberius Ewell, guarded closely by Mateo Malback, and when the whistle blew, I got a little scared.
Under 90 seconds to play now in the first half. Nelson Dews thinks about a three, then he drives, kicks out, back to Malback. Malback finds Cameron Hughes sort of alone over there on the baseline. Last touch off Hughes. Hughes tried to use that power dribble, that one-hop, two-handed dribble, and he ended up bouncing it off of his own leg. He thought a general player helped kick that ball out of bounds.
I'm not a fan of the power dribble, and down on this other last possession by William Campbell, 3 different times they used that power dribble, and it never worked out for him. It always brings other hands into the play.
Nice takeaway by Josh McClure. Up ahead quickly. Nelson Dews on the finish. It was McClure to Malback at midcourt, and then Malback shot about a 35-foot bullet pass to Nelson Dews, who finished in full transition, full speed. Pull-up three from Traquan Williams. Oh, McClure just got tackled over there, and it turned into a wrestling match momentarily between him and Edmund Daniel. Pardon me, that's Nick Witcher. Nick Witcher just had McClure all wrapped up. 2 points for the takedown, but a foul, unfortunately, and it's going to send Josh McClure to the free throw line to shoot 2. Didn't look like there was any kind of malice or anger in it. Witcher just sort of just threw him down to the ground.
Yeah, he kind of got him on his hip and just started pulling and continued. He didn't, I mean, it wasn't violent.
Right,
He just never turned loose and just brought him to the ground with him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was trying to read the emotion on both guys' faces, and I don't think Nick Witcher was particularly upset about anything. It's like you said, he just wouldn't let go for some reason. Maybe he figured I got him wrapped up. I might as well get my money's worth and just dump him to the deck. I don't know. Jamal Thornhill back in the basketball game, along with Chancellor Mormon.
And I like that move by Coach Harris, getting those 2 guys with 2 fouls out of the game right now.
47 seconds left to play in the half. It's a 31-18 Colonel advantage. McClure can extend that. Not on the first one, in and out, no good. Galliard had the rebound. He got poked away. Somehow ends up in the hands of Daquan Poindexter on the far sideline. Colonel's going to settle things down and work slowly and deliberately against this zone from William Campbell.
Back in a 1-2-2 or even a 3-2 right now.
It's hard to tell sometimes. I think that's part of the reason why Brandon Barksdale likes to change it up, is it's sometimes difficult to identify. Down to 23 seconds left to play in the half. McClure, jab step. Oh, too much of a jab step. They said he walked. Didn't get the dribble started in time, and that's a turnover for the Colonels with 21.2 left in the half.
I think Josh's head fake out through the ref, because it didn't look like he shuffled his feet.
Sometimes that can happen, for sure.
Regardless.
18 seconds left to play in the half. William Campbell will bring it up the far sideline. That's Traquan Williams. Lost it momentarily. Guarded in the man-to-man defense by Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill fall down. Didn't fall all the way to the ground, but had to put his hand down to keep his balance. Galliard had the rebound, but he lost it. Oh, inside passing there, and then another up and under layup at the buzzer won't fall. It was Tiberius Ewell, after a couple short passes, ended up with it. And it's sort of a strange way to end what was a pretty good half of basketball. Colonels got the best of the second quarter, though. They lead 31-18. Subway halftime show on the way when we come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about, to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Colonels lead 31-18 at half over the William Campbell Generals. Generals actually led by 1 at the end of the first quarter, so even without doing the math, you can tell pretty nice spurt in second quarter for the Altavista Colonels, Oscar.
Colonels outscored them 20-6 in that quarter, and just about everybody got on the scoreboard. We'll go back down those totals here a little bit later in the half.
Subway halftime show, always a treat because we get to talk about, well, basically whatever we want to talk about. But let's talk about Subway. 50% more meat for just 50 cents on a 6-inch sub. So if you had a foot long, it would just cost you $1 for 50% more meat. And that's a fantastic option to employ. You have used that option a few times.
I do use
right?
that option,
yeah.
Especially on the 6-inch, and don't get all the extra calories from carbs from the bread, but hey, get the extra meat. I'm good to go.
It's great stuff over there at Subway. All 3 locations, Main Street, also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. That's a location that I think we should probably talk about more because I think it's underutilized by some of our fans. You and I have discussed at length, and sometimes on the air, but we've discussed there's a lot of people that ride up and down 29 that are Colonel fans, whether they work in Lynchburg, maybe they live in Lynchburg but work in Altavista, vice versa. Maybe you're just going to Lynchburg for shopping, what have you. That location inside Foster Fuels is money. Robert has been doing great things since he took that one over. The customer service that you know and love is there, and it's definitely an easy in and out there at Foster Fuels.
That's the point I was getting ready to make. Even if you're southbound, you got the stoplight, you hang a left, you can get in, you can get back out, utilization of the stoplight, headed back south. You're in and out before you even know it. So it's like you said, easy access whether you're headed north or south. Great place to stop and avoid the crowds of Lynchburg.
Yep. Just one comment here about the halftime festivities on the court. The Colonel Club has one of those T-shirt cannons that they pump shirts out of. It's great. I will warn you fans, though, those shirts come out at, 79, 80 miles an hour. It's a good, hard fastball that gets shot out of there with that T-shirt. You got to have your head on the swivel and be ready for it.
Well, they use it in football and shot it from about the 40-yard line,
right.
And it came up to the window of the press box.
You got a hand on that.
If it weren't for my butter fingers, I would have caught that. But it was coming through the window.
Pep band keeps it nice and lively in here as well during the Subway halftime show. They haven't done the half-court shot in a while, though. I don't know why they phased that out. We need to talk somebody back into that. Maybe we'll get you to run down there and start that up. Let's get back to let me get my thoughts together here for a second. Basketball. Let's get back to basketball for a second, please. The Colonels on top right now, 31-18. A nice second quarter, some adjustments from Coach Harris, but I think for the most part, just an increased effort on the defensive end and the rebounding. William Campbell was getting some rebounds that I think Coach Harris wasn't particularly happy about. You could see Altavista do better in that regard, although the Generals still did have some chances inside the paint there that they couldn't cash in on.
Yeah, a lot of them were what Coach Harris would say were wild shots, but still they did have a ton of opportunities. Did a good job on the offensive boards as well.
We'll take another timeout here on the Subway halftime show. We'll take our first timeout on the Subway halftime show to be exact. Altavista on top right now, 31-18 over the William Campbell Generals. Back with more after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town. English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorcycles. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out that get less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Spec Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns here. The Colonels leading 31-18 against the William Campbell Generals. It was a great first half. Oscar Briggs. It was a lot of Khalil Boyd in the first half. He pitched in a few in the second quarter. What did Boyd end up with there in the first half?
William Campbell, Traquan Williams with 2, Tiberius Ewell with 2, Edmund Daniel with 2, and Khalil Boyd had 12. Of course, that big first quarter, he had 10. For the Colonels, Cameron Hughes with 6, Nelson Dews with 2, Mateo Malbeck with 7, Daquan Poindexter with 6, Lawrence Galliard with 5, and Jamal Thornhill with 2, Josh McClure with 3. Nice balance there from the Colonels, and some great minutes from Cameron Hughes, Daquan Poindexter, and Chancellor Moorman off the bench as Dews and Mateo Malbeck both got in a little bit of foul trouble.
And let's not forget the thunderous alley-oop dunk to start things. The first 2 points of the game came from Lawrence Galliard. It was a set-up play designed. They snuck him in behind the back line of the General defense. Malbeck threw him the perfect pass right to the side of the rim, and then Galliard dunked it home for 2. It was a great way to start things off, and it probably set the tone for the Altavista Colonels, at least for the first few minutes. William Campbell had a nice little answer after that, and the Generals actually led by 1 to start the second quarter. But again, the Colonels leading right now 31-18, so they had a much better second quarter. I agree with you about the balance, Oscar. It makes it difficult to stop. I mean, it's tough when you can't key on one guy. I know Bob Alvis has made the point time and time again, and he's certainly got a valid point that it's nice to have one scorer, one guy that you know you can count on, that you know you can throw it to in a tough spot. But I think when you've got balance, when you've got multiple guys that can go in double figures on any given night, that makes it tough to stop that 4, 5, 6-headed monster.
Well, that's exactly right. And you get some of the foresight into Nelson Dew's mentality is it would have been easy. He was expected to be the leading scorer coming back in, and certainly after the Appomattox game, you read some of the quotes he gave to the paper was, hey, he likes seeing his teammates score. He likes feeding them the ball. He'll take the assist as well as the basket at any time. So, again, that's just the type of mentality that this Colonel's basketball team has.
Yeah, those are nice comments from Nelly there after the Appomattox game, and it shows on the court. Boyd lost the handle on the opening possession there for William Campbell. Good pressure defense from Daquan Poindexter.
Shout out real quick to Cindy Parrish listening in Myrtle Beach. She's got to tune in now before she goes to bed, or we'll go watch the Housewives of Atlanta or Myrtle Beach or Bennettsville Housewives or something.
Sounds like you're not as into those reality shows as she is.
No.
No comment? Oh, just a straight no. Altavista in the front court. Look at Daquan Poindexter to the hoop. Gave his man the left shoulder there and threw it up with the right hand. Very nice way to start the half for the Colonels. 33-18, they lead. Here comes McKenna Neighbors. Full head of steam. Dodges the defense. Shot doesn't go down. It's rebounded down low by Malbeck. Malbeck lost it momentarily, but Galliard's there to save the day.
He's always there to save the day. The ball ends up in his hands a lot.
Right place, right time. McClure, 3-ball, corner pocket. Too strong. High rebound collected by Daquan Poindexter, 10 feet away from the hoop. Colonels are going to reset. Malbeck's just going to take a deep breath. He'll back it towards the half-court stripe, about 5 feet away. Nelson Dews will think about a 3 now. That's off the back of the iron, too. Good job clearing out that time by William Campbell. They're into the attack. This is Khalil Boyd. Boyd had to go down low and dribble it, nearly lost it. Over-the-shoulder pass down low to Staten. Staten had it blocked away, and he's going to the free throw line to shoot 2. Pardon me, that's Josh Rosser. There's a lot of guys that have similar looks.
Yeah, they really
to William
do.
Campbell.
They really do. Josh McClure on the block, if he wouldn't have dropped his hands down, he might have got away with it. That's his second foul.
A bunch of guys for the Colonels have, too. That's the first one this half. Rosser sinks the first free throw. Yeah, my apologies on some of these players for William Campbell as Tiberius Ewell checks into the ball game. They've got 5 or 6 guys that are pretty well put together, pretty muscular, and they all stand about, 5'10". They all have about the same height. A lot of them sport the same haircut, too, kind of a close afro. Not a full-fledged afro, but not close-shaven either. There's a foul as Malbeck was headed to the right edge of the paint and then the right side of the hoop, and he'll just mosey his way over to the free throw line to shoot a pair with 6:30 left to play in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Go see the whole gang over there at English's sometime soon. Bound to have something that you need. And you can use the old cliche, too, Oscar. If they don't have it, you don't need it. Free throw no good, but Malbeck got his own rebound. Shovels it off to Galliard on the right post. Galliard had to adjust and throw up a left-handed layup. That won't fall. Neighbors wants to try and attack down the far sideline as he's bodied out of bounds by a couple Colonels. Let's see who they get with the foul.
Daquan.
Should be Poindexter's second, too, I believe. No, it's his first. That's what I get for thinking.
No, I thought for certain that was his second as well.
6:22 left to play in the third. Colonels lead 34-19.
Of course, scoring group here does a great job of putting the player number and fouls up on the board night in and night out.
Class act down there at the scorer's table. We'll discuss them in a minute. Tiberius Ewell tried to throw an awkward scoop layup. That won't go down. Second chance blocked away. Edmund Daniel has it back. Sends it to Ewell for 3, and that will go down. Tiberius Ewell working hard on the offensive end. Nice assist from Edmund Daniel.
Couldn't hit the rim.
Find him.
Couldn't hit the rim from 2 feet, so he knocks down to 3.
Sometimes you got to get further away. Different perspective on the hoop, right?
That's right.
Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, thinks we're doing great up here. I think she's doing great back at home base.
And she makes it easy.
Daquan Poindexter thinking about a left wing 3. Instead, shovels off to Malbeck. Malbeck overhead pass into the right short corner to Nelson Dews. Now it's back over to the left wing to Poindexter. Poindexter dribbling right in front of Coach Harris. Goes across the lane from the right side. Shot hung up on the back plate but wouldn't fall down, and then there's a foul as Josh McClure rising up to grab the rebound and the putback. They'll call this on the floor as the Colonels will inbound underneath their own bucket. 5:22 left to play in the third. 34-22, lob play. Galliard can't get the full flush, but he rose up above the rim and just sort of tapped it back down. The pass was not quite perfectly placed by Malbeck, but it was good enough for another nice assist. 5:09 left to play in the third. Colonels rolling here, 36-22. Remember, William Campbell led by 1 at the end of the first quarter.
It's been all Colonels since.
Absolutely. Colonels up 14 now. There's another scoop unorthodox layup by Tiberius Ewell. When we talk about a scoop layup, Oscar, let's try and describe that a little bit. Normally you shoot a layup or any sort of basketball shot from at least shoulder height or sometimes head height, sometimes above the head on those layups you'd like to release it. But with these scoop layups, they kind of throw it from the hip.
They're throwing it from the hip.
Underhanded,
and
basically.
they're throwing it with a lot of English on it, trying to spin it in off the backboard. And kudos to the Colonels for keeping their arms up and not creating a foul.
Boyd, fall-away jumper will go from the right side of the paint about 10 feet away. The always dangerous Khalil Boyd lets the Colonels know that he's still around and cuts into the lead. Nelson Dews triggers the 3-ball, misfires from the left wing. Tried to scramble and get his own rebound back, but there's Khalil Boyd with the basketball for William Campbell. Up ahead to Neighbors. Neighbors tried to scoop layup, and that's swatted away. I mean, it can work. Don't get me wrong. It can work. We've seen it work. You see it work in just about every basketball game, but it feels like William Campbell's going to the well one too many times.
Absolutely. That's the point I was getting ready to make. They're going to it too many times, and probably 60 to 65% of their shots are going up in that fashion, and you're just not going to be successful.
Yep. You can't shoot from the hip but so many times and have the defense not adjust. Here's Tiberius Ewell just right of center. Now he'll kick to Tyrell Staten. Staten thought about the three. Ooh, Staten with a full head of steam to the hoop, and he is fouled. Looked like Staten was almost timing his steps up for a dunk, and the Colonels stepped in front. They're going to whistle Mateo Malbeck with his third foul. He cannot believe it.
Well, there were two Colonels there. It was Josh McClure and Mateo Malbeck. One of them was going to pick up their third foul.
Absolutely right. And Staten did a nice job to head fake the three from the left wing. And then he charged into the basket with a full head of steam. That's tough to stop, especially when a man as stout as Tyrell Staten gets the full head of steam going. 36-25. First free throw goes in, cuts the Colonel lead down to 11. 4:09 left to play in the third quarter.
And the Colonels better not sleep.
No, better not at all. Feels like the Generals are trying to make a push. McClure tapping the rebound back to himself, then it finds the hands of Mormon. Mormon had it batted away momentarily, but was able to get to a teammate, Daquan Poindexter. Nelly will try the scoop layup, and it will go. Who cares what those broadcasters think? Keep trying the up and under layup.
That was, I'm going to show you guys exactly how this thing works.
Boyd, spin move, cut off. Bullet past the Neighbors. Oh, Neighbors lost the handle out of bounds. They're going to say it touched a Colonel out of bounds last.
That went off Neighbors' foot as clearly as could possibly see.
Nice finish on the other end by Nelly. Flashy, smooth, got it to go with the underhanded layup.
The difference was Nelly had created some space. He wasn't in traffic.
Good point. Ooh, step back long, two for Tiberius Ewell is good. A 17-footer from straight away. Nelly just shakes his head in disbelief. Wasn't much more Nelson could do.
He was all over him, and a little step back, you're just not going to block that. And all you could do is tip a hat and say, nice shot.
38-27. Colonels lead back to 11. It's 44-27 Altavista at the end of the third in the girls' game in Naruna. Props to my buddy Dave Mabry for the updates. Nelly, floater, count it. Special stuff right there.
That is special stuff. That is not an easy shot. That little 10-foot, 12-footer floater heading towards the basket is a difficult shot.
Excellent touch, excellent timing by number 2, Nelson Dews. 40-27. Colonels back up 13. Right wing, Neighbors might have taken an extra step. Dishes back top of the key to Boyd. Boyd throws it back out to Ewell. Ewell makes Nelson Dews get up in the air, and he'll shoot the long J. Won't fall. Staten tried to save it back in bounds. Wanted to throw it off of McClure's knee, but McClure just sort of dodged it out of the way. Nice play. Ends up in the second or third row of the stands, and it'll be an Altavista basketball. They got to go right to left, full length of the court in the home jerseys with 2:37 left to play in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center.
This Colonel's team defensively, you got Poindexter, Mormon, Dews, Galliard, McClure, Malbeck. They keep coming at you in waves, too. It can get very frustrating with those guys guarding you.
Yeah, it's hard. You got to fight for every inch that you get. McClure, jab step. Now he'll pull for the three. Good. Wow. Josh McClure, I think he wanted to drive, but the William Campbell defender kept giving ground, so McClure pulls up for three from the right wing and just cans it. 43-27. Colonel's on top now. Floater from Tiberius Ewell will hit the front of the iron but won't creep down. McClure skies up for the rebound just to the right side of the hoop. 1:50 left to play in the third quarter. Colonel's looking to extend the lead. McClure thinking about another one. He'll drive baseline instead. Swatted away by McKenna Neighbors. Timed it up well. 43-37. Ewell going the other way. Probably took some contact. No whistle. Generals throw it back to the hoop, and it's McKenna Neighbors with the tip in for two.
That's his first bucket of the night, Kyle.
Interesting stuff there. Neighbors started this ball game. On the court right now for the Colonels, Daquan Poindexter just walks it across the timeline over to Chancellor Mormon. They're joined by Lawrence Galliard, Nelson Dews, and Josh McClure. Nelly for three. Oh, side of the iron won't go. McClure with a nice rebound 10 feet away. Flips it back over to Nelson Dews. Nelson lowers the shoulder, lost the ball, threw it to McClure as he was losing it. Poindexter, head of the key, one-hand pass to the right elbow. Galliard, left-hand finish will fall. Wanted to pound it in with the ram jam dunk. Had to settle for just a simple lay-in. Again, got above the rim and made it work. 45-29. Colonel's lead. Boyd, spin move, got stopped. Kick to Neighbors. Neighbors, a lot of standing around right now from both teams. Rebound collected by Daquan Poindexter. Mormon wants to try a three. Yes, sir!
He joins the party.
Chancellor Mormon joined the party is right. For three. 48-29. Colonel's up 19 all of a sudden. Man, this was a one-point game at the end of the first quarter. Neighbors lost it. Regather, right hand. Got some space with a shove against Mormon. His shot won't fall, but there's a stick in by Tyrell Staten. Now the defense may be a little lacking a little bit from the Colonels. 15 seconds left to play in the quarter.
You got four Colonels that have hit three-pointers tonight.
True.
Nelson Dews not one of them.
And that's crazy. 9 seconds. Nelly's going to try and change that. Side of the iron. Oh, Galliard with another rim-rocking dunk. Galliard grabbed the rebound off the Nelson Dews, missed three, and stuffed it home. The energy is unbelievable right now from Lawrence Galliard, just a sophomore. The horn sounds to end the third. 50-31. Colonels on top. Exciting stuff. Don't miss the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
A barrage of three balls from the Altavista Colonels, and then a serious exclamation point to end the third quarter from Lawrence Galliard on a missed three. We already saw Lawrence dunk the alley-oop. We've seen him come close to pounding a couple more dunks, and now, the most recent one, good grief. It seriously was a Juan Thornhill type of dunk. Lawrence just stuffing it in there with two hands. Colonels on top, 19, 50-31. Traquan Farmer in the ball game now for his first action to free throw line, trying to flip it to Thornhill. Thornhill lost it in transition. Jamal Thornhill got it back. They whistled him for a foul. The basketball is being cared for a little casually out there by both teams now. And sometimes the defense not exactly textbook either in a game like this. A lot of reaching in. On the court right now for Altavista, Jamal Thornhill, Traquan Farmer, Cameron Hughes, Nelson Dews, and Jacob Adams. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah, 50-31, and the game's getting a little bit sloppy right now on both ends for both teams.
Tyrell Staten catches in the front court near the right sideline, holds it over his head. Now a left-hand dribble, picks it up over to McKenna Neighbors. It's Staten, Neighbors, Boyd, Williams, Daniel, and one more general that I've misplaced. Or did I get them all?
You got them.
Oh, great.
There's only 5.
Is there only 5? Not
Yeah.
the 6-man basketball like they used to play in Iowa? 3-on-1 fast break. Colonel's going the other way. Thornhill with a nice fake to the right, then flips it to the left. That's Nelson Dews converting from the left side of the paint. They ran the 3-on-1 fast break pretty effectively there.
Yeah, I'm going to throw stones at Thornhill. He should have stopped at the free throw line to spread out that defense a little bit more.
Boyd with a seriously long-range 3. He was closer to the right sideline than he was the three-point line. Nick Witcher tried to throw it off of Traquan Farmer. Traquan just caught it in his chest and then gave it over to a teammate. Farmer's going to set up shop at the free throw line. Here's Jamal Thornhill on the right side. Right corner now to Cameron Hughes. Hughes wants to drive, got by the first defender, but not the second, and had it blocked away. General's going the other way. Boyd, spin move in traffic.
What a pass.
One-hand bounce pass to Traquan Williams. Williams will fire from the baseline. A 16-footer goes down.
Sweet feed from Khalil Boyd.
It was. Full speed in transition, too. Speaking of full speed, Nelson Dews beat all his teammates down. There's the up and under layup. Won't fall, but he is fouled. Hit the back plate and thought about going down the cylinder. But Nelson will have to try and get 2 the hard way from the free throw line. Colonel's lead 52-33. 6:11 left to play in the fourth quarter. Bob Alvis chiming in with some updates. Here we go, Bobby. Mr. Alvis reports that Dan River is up 67-23 over Gretna after 3 quarters. We will see the Gretna Hawks in person Friday night. Hope you'll join us for that one. Subway pregame show starts around 6:45. That one will be the aforementioned Bob Alvis and myself. Nelson sinks the second. Makes it a full 20-point advantage for the Altavista Colonels. 53-33. Jordan Witcher checking into the ball game. Dave Mabry reporting that the Lady Colonels are up 54-22 with 3 minutes left in William Campbell. So that's going to be another nice victory for Deborah Spencer and her group.
They are solidly in the playoffs right now. They are, I think, 3rd in the district or something like in the conference now.
Tyrell Staten never really got off the ground. It was kind of a set shot attempt, and it was blocked by Cameron Hughes. Tyrell Staten going to trot over to the free throw line. 3rd foul, pardon me, the foul was on Jamal Thornhill. I guess Thornhill was in the area. Staten, left-handed shooter, first one won't go. The deficit is stuck at 20 for William Campbell with 5:57 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Home for Atrium Vinyl Windows. They're going to save you a lot of money in the winter and make you a lot more comfortable. Same thing in the summer as they'll keep the cool in there as well. It's a nice investment in your home. Jacob Adams, three-pointer on the way. Too strong, went off the back of the iron. Here comes William Campbell in transition quickly. Tiberius Ewell, up and under, scoop layup, won't go. Traquan Williams with the leaning backwards rebound shot attempt, won't fall. Coach Oscar Briggs up here in the press box encouraging the Colonels to pace themselves and slow it down a little bit. I think your ideas align perfectly with what Troy Harris had in mind too, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, a little bit helter-skelter, a little bit out of control.
Witcher took too many steps before he was going to try the 15-footer. That's no good anyway, but it was a turnover. Yeah, you're right. Colonel's getting a little off the tracks there.
Well, and this is a group of kids that generally don't see the floor together unless it's in practice, to be honest. I mean, it's Jake Adams, Cameron Hughes, Witcher, Farmer, and Thornhill. And that group, oh, wow. That group usually plays together as a unit against the starters.
Traquan Williams was working with a right-hand dribble to his right, leaning away from the basket, lowered his shoulder, threw the shot up, and got it to go, and he was fouled by Cameron Hughes. First foul on Cameron Hughes. 6th team foul on the Altavista Colonels. The next one they commit will put the Generals in the bonus. Williams rattles in the free throw. That makes it a 53-36 Altavista advantage. Thornhill's going to probe the defense. Looks like a man-to-man defense now from William Campbell. Altavista basketball in the front court with 5 minutes to play. Hughes striding through the defense. Shot up the floater. Then he's going to commit a foul trying to get the rebound back. That's Cameron Hughes' second foul in a matter of moments. And it's the 7th team foul on the Altavista Colonels. Should be. It was 6 up there on the last foul Cam committed.
Yeah.
We'll see if the officials, they do change it now on the scoreboard. The officials see it, and it's going to send Edmund Daniel to the free throw line.
Daniel with only 2 points on the night.
he can add to that total. It's going to be a 1-and-1 situation for William Campbell. 4:56 left to play in the fourth. Let me say it again. Next time you'll hear Colonel's basketball is Friday when the Gretna Hawks come to town. Basketball got punched out of bounds and ended up hitting the referee. He had to sort of shield his eyes. He didn't want to get hit in the face with it.
He made the right call with his back turned to the play. That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah,
right?
it is impressive.
Instincts out there, man. Instincts. It's the sixth sense. Thornhill striding to the basket. He's tied up by Tyrell Staten.
He's going to call a walk.
Oh, are they? They changed the call? Coach Troy Harris signaling that the one official called it a foul. And the official across the way on the far sideline says, I had a better view. I called him for too many steps.
Official on this side said, Coach Harris, you're up 19 with 4:45 remaining. Just sit down.
And I think the third official is wondering, hey, you guys sort it out and tell me so I can point in which direction it's supposed to go. Okay, William Campbell basketball with 4:45 left to play. It finally got sorted out. Took a full 60 seconds to get it straight. 45 seconds at least, right? 53-36. Time flies when you're having fun, so it felt like a minute. Campbell trailing. Boyd driving. Off the window, and it won't fall. He is fouled.
Cameron Hughes
again.
Just incredulous that he actually fouled.
Cameron Hughes just can't get out of the way at this point.
No.
Third foul in about 60 seconds of basketball. With the discussion, it's been about a 2-minute time frame. Boyd sinks the first. 53-37. Altavista leading here from Altavista High School. Friday is a home game as well, folks, so make your plans to come out to the gym on Bedford Avenue, but if you can't, we'll be here for you too. Brandon Barksdale wants to take a timeout. Let's take it with him. Colonel's on top, 53-38. Just over 4.5 left to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The girls' game is official in Naroona. The Lady Colonels get a win 56-33 over William Campbell. 3 in a row for the Altavista Lady Colonels. Sure they're going to be riding high. I'm sure several of them will be tuning in on the trip home. Good win for the ladies. Again, big thanks to my buddy Dave Mabry for the updates. And Miss Mormon also out there working hard, watching the Lady Colonels get a W. Nelson Dews. Right baseline jump shot won't fall, and William Campbell clears the rebound, headed the other way. Khalil Boyd, he'll shoot the fadeaway jumper from 14 feet away. It doesn't fall. Tyrell Staten, turnaround, put-back attempt, won't go, and he's fouled by Lawrence Galliard. And Tyrell Staten has been shooting a lot of free throws here as of late, Mr. Briggs.
He has, and actually, they're going to say Staten didn't shoot that ball.
Number 4, Josh Rosser?
Yeah.
Did I get fooled again by the appearances, or did you think Tyrell Staten was shooting that ball?
I thought Staten was the one that shot the ball as well, Kyle.
Okay. Well, it doesn't make me feel so bad. I don't know if that was an old broadcaster trick or you just agreed with me so I wouldn't, get so down. Rebound by number 4, Daquan Poindexter. Poindexter will creep it up into the front court. He was looking for Cameron Pinnell, who was recently checked in the ball game, but it was tipped away by a general defender. And the Colonels will reset and inbound it on the baseline. They lead 53-39, 4:06 left to play in the fourth quarter. They're going to run Nelson Dews off a couple screens. Poindexter was actually going to go in a different direction on the inbound play. Colonels have been very effective at scoring on these inbound plays, Oscar, all year.
Nelson Dews was actually running a pick that time, like a wheel play for Galliard. What a move by Nelson Dews.
Oh, and the finish. Nelson Dews head faked the defender. That freed up some space. Then he attacked from the right baseline and just used the old Nelly floater to get it in again. Galliard grabs the rebound and then is banged, and that's a foul. It's just going to be the fourth team foul on William Campbell.
Which is remarkable.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Altavista's got 9 team fouls.
Yeah. Well, Colonels have played that stifling defense, and sometimes the officials will take exception to some of the good defensive play. It's just a question of, what guys want to call. It's kind of like a strike zone for an umpire or holding in football. You could probably call a foul on every play if you wanted to.
Or a sticky wicket in cricket.
A sticky wicket. We need some more cricket references, don't we? Nelson Dews, top of the key, in between the circles, sort of shoves teammate Daquan Poindexter out of the way as he makes a move to the basket and is fouled.
5th team foul.
It was on the floor, so Altavista will inbound. On the court right now for the Colonels, Daquan Poindexter, Josh McClure, Nelson Dews, Cameron Pennell, and Lawrence Galliard. Poindexter looking for somewhere to go on the entry, and he finds Josh McClure at the top of the key. Now it's the left wing and Nelson Dews. Crossover dribble, bounce pass into the mid-post to Galliard. Galliard spin move around the defense to his right, converts the two-pointer. 57-39. Colonels back up 18.
I'm going to tell you, if Galliard would have played like this last year, Altavista would have won the state championship.
Khalil Boyd sinks the three from the right wing. Khalil Boyd takes a backseat to nobody, certainly not the Oscar Briggs joke role. It was a joke because, folks, if you don't know, the Colonels won the state championship last year anyway. It was pretty funny to me. McClure lost it. Man wrapped him on the arm there as it went out of bounds, causing Josh to lose it. No, you're fine. At this point in our broadcast, you think I'm worried if you interrupt me?
This is the first time I've interrupted you in this quarter.
Galliard catches in the low post, sends it back out to Pennell. Pennell, nice head fake. He'll try the lane and it'll go. Altavista bench jumps to their feet because Cameron Pennell scores. Pennell has not scored much this year, but he does there with a nice little nifty finish. A good setup, too, to get his man up in the air.
Yeah, he did a nice job of driving past his man, getting him up, getting the next defender that rotated over, and converts on the three-point play. Nice play by Cameron Pennell.
It was the 4th foul on Tyrell Staten, 7th team foul on William Campbell. Boyd, chest pass to the right wing to McKenna Neighbors. Neighbors for 3, and he makes it. Tell you what, William Campbell, I got to give him this. They're pretty fun to watch. Coach Harris said they were a little wild, little unorthodox. He was right. It keeps you interested as a fan. It's not textbook basketball by any means, but William Campbell is going to give some people some fits this year. They led this game by 1 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, the second and third quarters just kind of imploded and got away from their offense, and they're back in this man-to-man. They played the man-to-man well.
Pennell, fall away, jump shot won't go. There's Nelson Dews on the rebound. A turnaround hook shot with his back to the basket almost. Nelson Dews just sort of threw it up there towards the goal, and it went in. And now he's got a takeaway. A straight pickpocket, but he stepped on the baseline trying to get it back. And then he tried another behind-the-back shot just for good measure.
And that almost went in.
Nelson Dews is having a ball right now. I'm not sure anybody is having more fun than Nelson Dews in the gym tonight. Perhaps Lawrence Galliard, certainly on the dunks anyway.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of laughter coming out of the front row on the other side over there.
Valid point. There's a backcourt violation on William Campbell. No call. Oh, and a nice pass to find Josh Rosser streaking free on the left-hand post there for the Generals. Never stopped playing, even though some of the Colonels' defenders stopped playing because they thought there was a backcourt. It's 62-47.
I'm going to say we had a pretty good angle on that, but
in this case we did have a pretty good angle from the press box up here. Colonels lead 62-47. 1:39 left to play in the basketball game. Basketball action on the court has gotten a little helter-skelter and a little offbeat, and I think maybe it's rubbed off on our broadcast. We've gotten a little unorthodox at times tonight.
And you can see that Coach Harris was a little frustrated. You had a 20-point lead. You tried to sub some kids in, and he put the starters back in, and they just haven't started executing again.
Free throw won't fall for Daquan Poindexter. I think Coach Harris would love to see more of those free throws converted as well. 92 seconds left to play in the game. Boyd streaking in from the left side. He is fouled as he tried another one of those patented up and under scoop lay-in.
He might truly have a patent on it.
I tried to go for it if he couldn't. The foul was on Cameron Pennell. Tried to go for it if he didn't have it yet anyway.
Here's an old trick for some of the kids that don't get to play as much. Pennell's already scored, but if you play, you need to foul, because that way you're ensured to go in the box score.
You sound like maybe you employed that trick a little bit back in your playing days.
I might have used it once.
I thought you were a scorer. Was this when your freshman or sophomore year or something when you weren't scoring that much?
Sophomore year at Hargrave, and I was on the postgraduate team, and I didn't get a lot of time, but when I did, I made sure I got in the box.
Pennell, shake and bake move, loses the defender, can't finish the lay-in. Galliard had it momentarily, but he lost it. Traquan Williams will pick it up on the near sideline, bring it back to the middle of the court. Now angles right, behind the back dribble, trying to shake Jordan Witcher loose. Double team momentarily, picks the dribble up, throws it middle of the court. Cameron Pennell stole it away from Khalil Boyd. Cameron Pennell's doing some impressive stuff here. Unfortunately, he's going to get dribbled. He's going to get called for a double dribble with 1:01 left to play. 62-49, the Colonels on top. It's been all Colonels since the second quarter. First quarter was back and forth. It was, I don't want to say William Campbell didn't show fight. I mean, they had their moments in there, but it's been pretty much all Colonels when you get right down to it here.
They got a little helter-skelter and discombobulated and out of their offense.
Got a final between the Gretna Hawks and the Dan River Wildcats. There's Cameron Pennell with another takeaway. Tried to throw it up ahead to Traquan Farmer, but the pass was not on target. Pennell's doing some good things. McKenna Neighbors drives, right-hand floater goes in. Neighbors hadn't stopped playing at all so far tonight, so you got to give him credit there. 62-51. Colonels only lead by 11 right now. Yeah, I think this is going to leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth of Coach Troy Harris and some of the Altavista Colonels. They've gotten a little bit too lackadaisical at times, a little too casual. Got to remember, Colonels were up as much as 20 at one point in this ball game. And some of this is due to William Campbell. The Generals have not stopped playing hard, and they've been able, because of the deficit, Oscar, to try some things that you wouldn't normally try, right? Some of those long-range NBA threes, some of that kind of thing. But still, I think Coach Harris would like to see his team perform a little bit better on the court. Jamal Thornhill is going to shoot a 1-and-1 for the Colonels. Won't go. Rebound loose. They're going to whistle Cameron Hughes with an on-the-back violation. That's the right call. Good box out there down low by Boyd and Josh Rosser. They had Hughes cleared out. He had no position. And it's going to send one of those two men to the free throw line for a double bonus situation.
30 seconds left. It's going to be Rosser.
62-51. Subway postgame show on the way. Make sure you stick around. We've got a final between Dan River and Gretna. We can talk about the Lady Colonels win a bit. We can talk about this one a lot, and who knows what else in the Subway postgame show, the Radio Shack player of the game at some point.
And we'll talk about Gretna Altavista Friday night.
The old rivalry renewed. Hard to find many better rivalries than Altavista and Gretna, but the Colonels have gotten the best of it for over 10 years now. There's sort of an intentional foul by number 25, Nick Witcher. Just kind of put two hands on Cameron Hughes. I don't think William Campbell wanted to stop the clock.
I don't know. The rest
having
a little talk, and Witcher's the one that did the little hip check takedown on McClure. No ill will, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Just trying to make a basketball play.
Yeah, he's just playing hard. It's a 10-point Colonel lead. Check that. It's 11 points now as Cameron Hughes sinks the first free throw. On the court right now for Altavista. Jamal Thornhill, Jordan Witcher, Cameron Hughes, Traquan Farmer, and Cameron Pennell. Second one goes down for Cameron Hughes. Nice job by number 1, the junior, with the Odell Beckham haircut. That's Cameron Hughes. Generals are going to have at least one last look here with 20 seconds. Boyd over to Neighbors. Neighbors for three, too strong. Cameron Pennell on the rebound. Pennell had it wiped out of his hands by Josh Rosser, and Rosser was standing on the baseline when he got the basketball back. Some fans starting to file out of the gym. A few sticking around to see the final moments here. 13.8 seconds left. Thornhill throws long. Intercepted by Josh Rosser. Nice play by Rosser to climb the ladder and take it away. Rosser, here's a behind-the-back sort of a layup try finish that won't go. Flips into Neighbors somehow. Neighbors hits the jump shot from just outside the paint. There's the final horn. The Colonels get a win. They improve to 10-2 on the season. A 10-point victory, 64-54 over The William Campbell Generals Subway postgame show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. The competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food, Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Well, the Altavista Colonels get a 10-point victory against the William Campbell Generals, 64-54. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. We've got a good Subway postgame show lined up for you, so make sure you stick around. We're back right after this quick timeout. Colonels win by 10 over William Campbell. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists, providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
More live live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show returns. 3 great locations around town. Go out and celebrate a Colonel win at Subway Main Street. Also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then inside Foster Fuels on Route 29. You always eat fresh. OB, where you want to start? You want to break this one down a little bit here as the Altavista Colonels really broke down William Campbell with some suffocating defense at times, and then the Colonels turned in kind of a pretty firework-filled offensive performance there, at least for a while. It was a strange game in a lot of regards. It lost the flow there at one point, and I think Coach Harris probably not particularly pleased with the way the Colonels ended up. He felt like his team might have got a little loose out there on the court, but
outscored 23-14 in the fourth quarter, and you could see the look of disdain on Coach Harris's face. He was not happy about that fourth quarter.
Yeah, there was some frustration there from Coach Harris for sure. A win is a win, and he's going to say that. I think there's going to be more positives in the locker room than negatives. But I do feel sure that Coach Harris is going to address that fourth quarter and say, hey, guys, we've got to finish. We've got to finish. We've got to clean it up. We can't do some of the things that we were doing out there. Some of the things that the Colonels did in the fourth quarter were okay, but some of them got a little loose, much like the drum set from the Altavista Pep Band just got a little loose, and the floor tom hit the floor. Not exactly the place you want it, but they'll get that straightened out, and the Pep Band sounding good as usual tonight, kept the crowd into it, and if the crowd was not into it, well, they got into it right off the bat when Lawrence Galliard caught the alley-oop dunk with the Thunder Jam finish from Mateo Malback. And then, to boot, Galliard had another one to end the third quarter where he just absolutely pulverized a rebound. This Galliard's something, huh? Let's go ahead and talk about him right now. Just a sophomore, Mr. Briggs.
A ton of natural instinct. He has a knack for finding the loose ball and being there in the vicinity when the ball comes off the boards. Very unselfish. Is learning to use his left hand a lot, which you don't see that as a sophomore. A lot of players tend to use their strength, their right hand, or their left if they're left-handed. He's really works hard to finish with that left hand when it's available, and that'll pay off huge dividends as the Colonels move forward further into the year.
Excellent observation by you. He brings a lot of pace and energy to the game. I think he's going to continue to work on that mid-range jump shot, and who knows, in a few years or perhaps even a few weeks, he might develop a long-range game as well. Lawrence is that kind of player. Another timeout here in the Subway postgame show. Maybe a little bit of a preview of the Radio Shack player of the game right there. We'll step aside for another quick break and bring it back with some postgame statistics. We'll tell you a little bit more about the night tonight. We'll tell you what to expect from the Gretna Hawks Friday when they come to town. It's the Altavista Colonels 64, William Campbell Generals 54. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorcycles. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out that get less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Spec Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Just a couple more segments of the Subway post-game show. We're having so much fun. We thought we'd stick around for a little bit extra. Hey, I mentioned that the Dan River Wildcats knocked off the Gretna Hawks. Oscar, that's an 86-32 final. That's a big number there, a big margin of victory for Dan River. Let's talk about Friday and the Gretna Hawks coming in town. That's never easy to get beaten that bad, nearly by 50 points. It'll be interesting to see how the Hawks can rebound. I guess, if anything, maybe it's good you've got a rivalry game that can fire you up off a loss like that. I don't know.
Well, you know, we do know that Chatham pretty well dismantled Gretna as well. Struggling right now over in Gretna, but I don't want to get too cliche, but you get these two teams together, a Gretna-Altavista rivalry, and a lot of different things can happen. Certainly, it's not the rivalry that it was 10, 12 years ago when if you didn't get here by 5:30, sorry, you're not coming to the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have that problem on Friday. But, however, I think you're right. I think you're right about the cliche. I mean, it is cliche to say throw out the records, but a lot of times with things are cliche because they're true. You know what I mean? Because they happen so much. So I think this is one of those cases. We'll see, and I think there is obviously you have to caution yourself as an Altavista player, coach, fan, to not overlook the Hawks. I mean, this team just got beaten up pretty bad by Dan River tonight, but you still cannot overlook them. We have a final score here, 64-54. The Altavista Colonels on top, and the Lady Colonels got a win as well, 56-33 in Naruna. JV guys won here tonight in overtime, Oscar. We didn't even mention we had overtime action in the opening act here.
Scotty
it was a pretty good
Gillespie
game.
big in the fourth quarter. Knocked down a couple of threes and a couple other baskets and brought the Colonels back. And nice overtime victory for Coach DeMichael Lee.
It was. Subway pregame, postgame. Gee whiz. It's been a long day. Subway postgame show rolls on with some final statistical numbers from Mr. Oscar Briggs.
Boy, some nice balance scoring out of the Colonels. Cameron Hughes with 8, Nelson Dews with 15, Mateo Malbach with 8, Daquan Poindexter with 8, Chancellor Mormon with 3, Galliard with 13, Josh McClure with 6, and Cameron Pennell with 3. For William Campbell, McKenna Neighbors late, ended up with 9 points, all in the second half. Traquan Williams with 7, Josh Rosher with 6, Tiberius Ewell with 7, Terrell Staten with 3, Khalil Boyd with 20, and Edmund Daniel with 2.
Balanced scoring there, really from both squads. I mean, obviously, Boyd throwing in 20. That's about his average on the year, if I'm not mistaken, looking at stats. Boyd has gone over 20 several times this season.
He had 10 in the first quarter. Yeah. And then Daquan Poindexter and Chancellor Mormon rotating through for Coach Harris did a nice job really shutting him down in that second quarter, and only allowing him 2 points, and that's really when the tide turned in this ballgame.
Yeah, it was a good adjustment there. I think they knew Boyd was good. I mean, obviously, Altavista has played William Campbell in the past. They knew Boyd was good. Maybe they weren't ready for some of those odd angles he attacked with and some of those odd shots that he tried. But then certainly there was an adjustment period there by the Altavista Colonels defense. Let's step aside and bring it back with the Radio Shack player of the game. Right after this, the Altavista Colonels, a winner here tonight, 64-54 against the William Campbell Generals. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. Whoop. Oh, house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
Go chant your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
One final segment of the Subway postgame show from Altavista High School. Colonel's a winner by 10 over the William Campbell Generals. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs, and hopefully he's still sounding loud and clear back there at home base. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, probably pulled a preemptive strike on what was going to be a technical difficulty. You know, she's just that good. She can foresee when these problems. Anticipation is a great term right there. Let's fire out some Radio Shack Player of the Game Awards, Mr. Briggs, brought to you by Radio Shack on Main Street in Altavista.
This may be short and sweet.
I think you're absolutely right. You want me to go first for William Campbell?
Sure.
I will. Khalil Boyd, 20 points. Did a number defensively. He's fun to watch. He is very fun to watch. You got to give him credit there. He'll step out and fire the long threes. He'll try the unorthodox layups. He'll come at you from angles that most coaches have never even thought about, and it works for him. I like him.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Khalil Boyd's my choice as well.
Short and sweet on the other side as well?
Boy, for me, I'll go first. Lawrence Galliard opened the game with that thunderous dunk, had another follow thunder dunk to finish the third quarter. Consistently picked up loose balls. I don't know how many blocks, probably 4 or 5 blocks tonight.
Yeah.
It's clear-cut Lawrence Galliard.
I think you're right. I'm going to second that emotion. The Dragon, the sophomore, Lawrence Galliard. Special tip of the cap, of course, to Nelson Dews for all those crafty finishes that he had. The defense, Mateo Malbach did his usual thing. Fantastic basketball all the way around. But when a man just brings the house down with 2 rim-rocking dunks like that.
And let's face it, you get critique from Michi Malbach and Juan Thornhill, and they're up and they're out jumping up and high-fiving. That's about as good an endorsement as you're going to get.
Yeah, I think so. When you have a guy that defies gravity in the way that Juan Thornhill does, those dunks that he used to unleash, and I'm sure still has in the repertoire, it is pretty nice when he stands up and gets fired up when you flush one in. Oscar, this has been fun.
It has been fun.
Let's do it again. I'm going to let Bob hang out Friday.
Yeah. Can't be as much fun.
Oh, man, the timing was perfect there. Hey, hope you had a good time. The ball game brought to you by our starting lineup here, the Moose Family Center in Altavista, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29 just south of the airport. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving family since 1905. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic with quality maintenance and construction service. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. KCD Maintenance, Ken can do it maintenance. Call 665-1333. That's 3 3s, Oscar. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. They're online at fellersdirect.com. And, of course, your streaming online audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your all-state agent in Windhurst. Basketball fans, always in good hands with Chad Rakos. That'll do it for us. And our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, for Troy Harris, who joined us in the pregame show. Colonels get a victory. They move to 10-2, 64-54 over the William Campbell Generals. We'll talk to you again Friday night. The Gretna Hawks in town for the rivalry game. Subway pregame show on around 6:45 on 105.5 KD Country.